Thank you everyone for joining, and we started a little bit late, so I'm gonna try to go a little bit faster than anticipated. And a little brief about myself. I'm not gonna bore you with all the things, but as he mentioned, Daniel, I am a full-time NFT and Metaverse consultant and developer. And also now I've built my own project called NFTConnect, which is a Web3 community management platform. This is one of the screenshots that I wanted to include back in the day. So I've been in the space since 2016. And I see some of you been in the space for a long time, some of you are new in the space. But this is a screenshot of CoinMarketCap back in 2016, I remember. It's just not to remember the price of Bitcoin. It was $1,000 and Ethereum $8, but just to have the idea that the Web3 space back then was only Bitcoin and Ethereum, and maybe XRP still there, and all the other top 10 changed. So the market has been changing all over the space multiple times, and we always had multiple updates and change in the top 10, and it will be the same for the next coming bull run. So we just always need to look for the next upcoming project. For this session, I will not be able to cover in deep technical details. I think the other session will go in the deep details, but I will try to cover a little bit about the fundamentals of the Web3 space, try to understand more what is the concept of the Web3 and why we need to build into the Web3 space. So I think most of you already know what is Web3, and I think most of you are in the space, but I'd like to hear some of the definitions, because Web3's the definition has changed all over from the start. So any one of you can tell me what is Web3 for them? Someone?
Bitcoin and NFTs.
Bitcoin and NFTs. And some Ethereum. What else? If you hear Web3, what do you understand?
New opportunity.
New opportunity. Or decentralization, it's nice.
Then everything connects to balance.
Yes. But also, this is one of the concepts, yes?
Not read and write, but also own data.
Ownership. This is my main topic. You hit it right. So let's try to also understand, because we have OGs in the space. Do you know who coined the first time the Web3 word and when? Anyone knows? Phoebe, I told you, don't tell. No one? Guys, Web3. Who mentioned first time the word Web3? Okay. No, Satoshi. No. So this is, I expected someone will know, but the first time it was mentioned by the co-founder of Ethereum and the founder of Polkadot, Gavin Wood. He coined the word Web3 in 2014, and it was the concept of having the internet in a decentralized way. And we are still work in progress on this, to be honest, because we still haven't achieved this vision. And yesterday we were in Ras Al Khaimah. There was also the presentation and the opening of the new free zone around the Web3, and I was like surprised. I saw that they mentioned dedicated to Web3. So I'm seeing now the word Web3 is being used more of an umbrella for the whole blockchain space. We are not talking exactly about the decentralization and the ownership, but more about that the whole space is considered as part of the Web3. And in order to understand more what is the real concept of the Web3 that was envisioned by Gavin Wood, we need to take it back to understand the concepts that are brought by the blockchain. And some of these concepts, as you see, we have immutability, decentralization, proof of ownership, digital scarcities. With some of these, you can understand they are justified with and solved using NFTs. So I think most of you have seen already these slides, what is Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3. I'm not going to bore you over it, but I wanted to emphasize to see we are still in the Web 2 era. Most of the user, we are still in the read-write and the interaction with these platforms. And the main thing that strikes us on these platforms is that these are still platform economy, which is based on the attention economy of our attention instead of the ownership economy that we are trying to push. We're still in the process. It's not very easy still. People are still not getting tools to it, but there is a lot of example that is growing, and we have some adoption in the space regarding this. And the Internet of Ownership, which is Web3, and compared to the Web 2 and the Web 1, which is text, images, and music, what we have currently, the new type of the ownership transaction on the Web3, which involved NFTs, which is for transaction currencies, copyrights, which I will talk about a little bit deeper. But so why we need to work in the Web3, build in the Web3, and have our application to learn more about Web3? What is the purpose of having the Web3 integrated? So most of the thing is because of the blockchain and the utility of the ownership and the integration of the internet on the blockchain. But the main thing is that we see is that the world most valuable asset at the current these days is our time and our attention, as mentioned also in The Economist, and collecting data. But the main issue is now also not only collecting data, it's valuable data. Because whatever you see now, if we have data that we are providing for this platform, we have now ChatGPT. If we didn't provide these data for these companies, we couldn't have that. We cannot have self-driving cars if we are not driving the cars and training the AI models. So data is one of the most valuable assets that we have, and unfortunately, we are the source that is leveraged now. We are providing this data to this platform for free against our time. So we use this platform, we're happy we're using WhatsApp, Facebook for free, Instagram, without knowing that we are involved in giving them the data. We are growing their network effect. They are benefiting from it, we are not benefiting from it. And this is what we are trying to change with the Web3 space. So I wanted to mention this slide, I liked it very much, from The Economist, where you can see the big giants, they are trying to battle to our data and to our attention. And everyone is trying to take a chunk and build on top of it, and they are benefiting. They are growing, and we are still fighting each other but not benefiting. But this is where the Web3 comes and the NFT comes to solve these issues and to give us the true digital property of ownership. So that's why we believe that the Web3 concept is a true ownership and scarcity that solves the issue. And this was also, this week, we had Yatsu, which is the co-founder and the chairman of Animoca Brands, which is one of the biggest investors in the Web3 space. And he was mentioning this, I liked it, and he mentioned something about that at the current stage, we still don't have any application that leverages the ownership of us in the Web3 space. But in the Web2 and in real life, we have ownership, true ownership. For example, we have the cars, we can own our own car, we own our own house, and there is a whole industry around the house and our car that are more valuable than just buying the car. So we have the furniture, we have the wheel, we have the glass, the mechanics, the driver, the taxis. These are big industry around the ownership that we have in real life. But imagine if we have the Web3 ownership, true ownership online. Imagine we have something like Uber, but for our data. Something like Airbnb, but for our data. This is what we are looking to build in the Web3 space, which is still not there. I think there is a lot of people trying. We are all trying here. We have projects. But this is, if you imagine, whenever we have this economy, we will have a bigger economy than just the real data itself. And this is where we can thrive and benefit. And this is for the people who are still skeptical about the PFPs and the NFTs. And we'd like to mention it. So, do you think the PFPs are gone, or do you think we will have another ignition, or people will still believe in the NFTs that have just a picture? Because there is a lot of fight. People think that they are dead and no one needs a Bored Ape anymore. And some people, they think, no, Bored Ape is still valuable or it's still relevant. What do you think? Can you think yes or no? Yes?
Bored Ape is working beyond the NFT right now. They're doing Metaverse and all that. So they still got a bit of value. But any project that was purely PFP oriented.
So if the project, they didn't have a vision, they don't have a roadmap, maybe they will not be able to survive. Right. But it's more of the utility. It's one of things. But I would have answered that before I listened to Yatsu, and he was mentioning that not everything we buy these days is only for utility. It's culture, is brand, is recognition, is status, is our choice. For example, this Gucci or Birkin bag, it costs $500 or whatever price, maybe the same price of if a Bored Ape. I can buy a regular bag to put stuff in it, so I don't need this specific bag to put stuff in it. And also this proves why we have one of the richest person in the world, the LVMH group founders, as one of the richest men in the world. If it was for utility, he will not be the richest man. So we are still, as a human being, we like to have connection. We like to have the status. We have to connect with other people. But the thing is, these days, most of our time is spent online. So now, like in real life, we see how many people we have, like 50 people in here. We can meet each other. But if we post one picture online, we have 100 views, 1,000 views, depending on our follower. So our online presence is very important. And this is where we see the NFTs and the digital social identity it will be even more important and more valuable. It's not about just having something in real life, but it's still the same example. Why we buy expensive watch, expensive car. I can find the time from looking at the sun. I don't even have a watch, need a watch for that. But we buy this for the status, for the choice that we want, and how we want to involve in the communities. And this is what we have seen, what happened in 2021. So many brands and influencers started buying and entering the space based on this concept, on the hype, and on the idea of the ownership. We've seen brands like Adidas, Gucci's, and people buying like for lands near Snoop Dogg's just to be their neighbor in the Metaverse. These are some of the concepts we've seen. And I just wanted to mention some numbers. We reach even daily, monthly trading volume around 3.7 billion. Even it reached 5 billion at one point. And I'm going a little bit faster so we can give time for other speakers. We've seen many brands entering the space, some in the Metaverse, some creating NFTs for their own brands. And we've seen even the government. We are lucky to be in a country that are supporting and they are thriving to be the leaders in the space. We have seen the government here creating incentive, creating initiative for the space, and it's growing even more. And this is what it's supporting and believing in it. We have seen so many brands going into the space and trying to build their communities, trying to build their NFTs. And I don't know if the video is not running, but it was about even recently we have purchased a Dior shoes that had an NFT integrated within it. You can tap and you can see the whole supply chain and the ownership, which is even with a very expensive brand. You will never see me wearing the shoes because it's expensive. But it was just to see that the brands are already integrating. Maybe now it's in a small sample, but later on it will become more mainstream. And also it's about the gaming. The gaming industry is a big industry that is growing. Recently I was like surprised that it's around 100 billion transaction volume in 2022. And to put it into perspective, it is $100 billion. It's bigger than the movie and the music industry combined. So all these artists that we follow, all these actors, the gaming industry is more valuable than them, makes more transaction than these industries. So that's why we see the VCs are really focused on the Web3 community, and the Web3 VCs are really focused on the gaming, because we know that there will be a lot of value that will be brought from the gaming industry. It's the easiest way for people to understand ownership, digital ownership, because most of this $100 billion transaction that were spent, they were spent on digital upgrade of the avatars and digital fashion for the avatar, which is also, we see, if you ask anyone who was playing Fortnite, they brag about their character. My avatar is stronger, it's better, I upgraded it. But unfortunately, it's not their character. It's the company who created the game that own these. So the people and our the younger generation are spending their time playing hundreds of hours in these games, and they are feeling the ownership, but in reality, they don't own anything. The companies who created these games, they are still owning. And this is where the Web3 space will change that, where I will be able to own the assets, and I will be able to have ownership all over. And we have seen like company in the Web3 space, digital property rights will be more easier to understand, and we will see companies shifting from company owned to community owned. And this is where we will have openness and democratic internet. This is what we mentioned from the key factors of the blockchain, what blockchain brings. And tokenization represents a concept of stakeholder capitalism, because if we have ownership of these tokens, and now we will take the case study very quickly about Friend Tech. We own a token, we are participating in this community, we are part of this community, and we have ownership. We are not like what we are now with the brand. We are consumer in any brand that we are buying items for it. But with the Web3, we are part of the owners, we are not consumers. This is the major difference. And this is what we can see in the communities. And the case study, I will go over it quickly. So so that we give time for other. The major one is the Frentech, which is recent one. We have seen a major growth in it. They have been able to get over 100K user within 1 month and over 8 million within 24 hours. And this shows that we are still looking for this type of interaction of ownership. This Frentech, if you don't know, it allows you to buy shares, or now they renamed it to keys, for influencer of your friend based on their Twitter account. So you need to connect your Twitter account and you'll be able to buy the shares. And we have seen people who bought the shares or the keys of Kobe and some of the major influencers in the NFT space. Their shares skyrocketed in price to 9 ETH, 10 ETH per share, and it started at 0.1. And also they were the creator of Frentech. They were playing on the idea of the economy and leveraging the airdrop, which is part of the concept that we have in the Web3 space. But one of the Lens protocol, it's one of the major also case studies that I think will have major impact in the Web3 space. And it's a protocol that is built by the team behind Aave, which is a very prominent team in the DeFi space. Lens protocol is not a one platform, it's a protocol that gives you ownership. Whenever you create a profile, it's created under a dynamic NFT that is on Polygon. It's on Polygon, but it can be communicated all over other blockchain. Each user will remain owner of his profile. Whenever you do a post, whenever you do a follow or publication, you will still be owner of this publication. And whenever you if you decide to move your profile to any other place, the data will go with it. And this is what we are talking about Web3. For your avatar, your profile will go with you. We all know how in the Web2 now, decentralized, you wake up one day and maybe you will see the YouTube channel that you have worked on for 10 years. It's gone because you mentioned some topic that is contradicting. So in this way, for example, if anyone who can take this protocol, it's an open protocol, and integrate it with their application, and you can have people move their profile from any other application. So one of the example is, for example, Hey.xyz. It's a protocol implementing the Lens protocol in top of it. It's like a Facebook and Twitter mix combined. You can post there, have tweets, and you can have the profile from Lens. And the other one I will mention before ending, it's my platform. We will be integrating very soon also Lens protocol, so you can move your profile from any Lens platform where you have to your profile. And also to showcase the use case of the Web3, I have created a POAP for this for this event. So if you claim this POAP, you can claim it on-chain and off-chain, and whoever claim it only will be able to access this presentation on the platform after the event. I will upload it. So this is one of the use case, how you can see it's a tokenized way where you can claim this NFT, and once you claim it, you can log in with your wallet without knowing who you are, and you can access, for example, I will put the slides or any other private content in the Web3 space. This is how we are ownership. We show ownership and we show growth of community, and that's it mainly. So thank you. I think I took enough time. Now we have our colleague. Maybe they will start presenting. Let me see who's next. Eddie. No problem. I'll put Eddie. Yalla, Eddie. I think maybe if you don't know Eddie, you will learn about him now, and you will be very, very shocked. Yeah.
Thanks, Tristan. Hello, everybody. Sorry if I'm a bit tired.